Okay, so I've got no idea what this video is titled yet, but I'm sure I probably clickbaited the hell out of it. I really am excited and optimistic about Pokemon's future, though. I mean, I know that's really easy to say now that there's all this crazy news about online co-op, a freely explorable open world, and of course, the prince himself, Lechonk. The enthusiasm and excitement for these games is awesome to see, especially after Sword and Shield left so many fans, including myself, cynical about the future of Pokemon. I think before Sword and Shield were announced, we were all sort of expecting to be blown away by Pokemon's big jump to the Switch. I know Let's Go had already come out, but that obviously doesn't really count. We were expecting the new Pokemon titles to reinvent the wheel like Breath of the Wild did for Zelda games and, frankly, open world games as a whole. Or even something like Mario Odyssey, which didn't really reinvent what Mario was, but just sort of nailed everything great about Mario. Plus, it didn't hurt that the game was clearly overflowing with love and passion from the entire team. But with Sword and Shield, it didn't really feel like that was the case. They suddenly cut over half of the guys from the game with a pretty shitty excuse. The Dexit actually ended up being a good call in my opinion. The graphics were far below what fans were expecting and far below other Switch titles at the time, and the game's difficulty still felt way too low. Plus, the story was disappointing. Overall, the games just felt super rushed at launch. Like they just needed a little bit longer in the oven, but Game Freak was forced to make a new installment in Nintendo's most successful money generator. It felt like as long as the status quo was maintained, no one really cared about doing anything new or fresh with Pokemon. All that being said, there was one thing that gave me the tiniest shred of hope. Hope that Game Freak was trying to innovate, but they just weren't there yet. The Wild Area. The Wild Area was this big, epic, sprawling, generic green field where Pokemon roamed freely. The bagpipes were really fucking annoying, and you had to wait forever for Fog to show up, so Mimikyu would finally appear, so you could complete the goddamn Pokédex! For a Pokemon game, though, this was, wild. The area truly was huge, and having Pokemon actually chase you around was a great touch. There were Pokemon you could only find in the wild area, and different weather that constantly changed added to the feeling that you weren't just walking along the sidewalk like in a normal Galar route. The wild area felt like a step in the right direction, and with the DLC for Sword and Shield, Game Freak took another step towards a truly great Pokemon game. The Isle of Armor added a beautiful ocean and archipelago to discover with near absolute freedom. There was nothing stopping the player from exploring the way they wanted to. And who could forget the epic, accurately scaled Wailord that sat right out in the sea waiting for you as you arrived. Some more fan-favorite Pokemon returned along with a few completely new guys, as well as some new forms, and some of these new forms in Pokemon were really fucking strong, along with fun new characters and a decent little tale. The story wasn't groundbreaking or anything, but it was much more self-aware than the Sword and Shield main story, and there wasn't really any conflict, so it was just an emphasis on the bond between you and your Pokemon. It also let you walk with your Pokemon again, to sort of compound with this theme of friendship. Overall, another step in the right direction. And then, Crown Tundra came out, and boy oh boy was it a hoot. A bunch of legendaries returned, along with more fan favorites. Good to have you back, Smoochum. Oh, and the entirely new Pokemon broke the fucking game. But the environment was super cool and weirdly varied. There was a grassy area with a big red tree, ice caves, a burned out church, frozen fields, a frigid sea, and more that I'm forgetting to mention. This DLC was way better than the last one, and the story was better too. Once again, it was super simple, with pretty limited, weird, cliche Pokemon bullshit. The one about Calyrex, right? Psychic guy is sad no one believes in him, and he needs a horse. The Reggie story? There's some big guys in some tombs, go check it out. The birds? What the fuck, those birds be crazy, go find them. Then, after that we got Diamond and Pearl remakes that weren't developed by Game Freak and were games for your iPhone, and they felt really bad and I don't like them. Music was pretty good, and Cynthia was so cool, but easily the worst remakes, like IMO. Super disappointing reveal. But there was another game revealed along with the formalities we like to call BDSP. Pokemon Legends Arceus. This shit was insane. The second they showed footage for this, I was immediately like, friendship ended with remakes. Ancient reimaginings are my new best friends. The concept and the tiny bit we saw just looked so sick. I immediately dropped the tiny bit of excitement I had for the remakes because exploring Ancient Sinnoh was gonna be fucking rad. I remember when the announcement first dropped, people were comparing it to a fan game because of how weird and fun it sounded. It had a focus on Arceus, a seemingly random lineup of starters in an open world. Then the second trailer dropped, and I feel like everyone who had their, like, doubts got way more on board. Honestly, I could talk about this game all day because I kind of love it, even with its flaws, but I'll do that in another video because I have way too much shit to say. We ended up being wrong about the open world in Arceus, but I could tell Game Freak was continuing to inch towards that reinvention of their decades-old formula. A month after Arceus was out and Gen 9 was revealed. And here we are. Now, Scarlet and Violet are less than half a year away. I mean, this may be naive to say, but it feels like the game stand a real chance at living up to the impossible expectations of Pokemon fans. It's clear to me that ever since the Wild area, Game Freak has been pushing as much as they can to make a crazy game that blows people away. We're finally getting an open world Pokemon game, plus it's going to be explorable in co-op. If you're new to the franchise, you may not get just how crazy that is, but it's damn near unbelievable. Plus, the graphics looks great, and the new Pokemon designs they've shown off fucking rule. I've been a Pokemon fan for as long as I've been alive, and the crazy thing is that there are still people that have been here longer than me. This may sound overdramatic and like kind of cringe, but the wait before a new Pokemon game comes out is probably my favorite time of the year. It's like its own little holiday, you know? The game gets announced in February and everyone picks a starter to die for. We make stupid memes and just revel in a genuine love of the franchise. Then the rest of the year is everybody just fiending for new info and getting excited for this crazy adventure. I guess this video didn't really end up being all that much about Scarlet and Violet, but more so just me rambling about this series that I love so much. Even though I may have seemed overly critical in this video, I really do love these games. Even the ones I claim not to like. I beat Shining Pearl and cleared the post-game, and I have nearly 500 hours in Pokemon Sword. In conclusion, I guess I'm just really stoked for the future of Pokemon, and I cannot wait for November. Alright, time for the lightning round. Here's my epic opinions on the new games. So, I'm definitely picking Fuecoco. Dude is the best little character I've ever seen. I think Quaxley snags second place, and then Sprigatito just looks really boring to me. It's just a cat. Like, Litten's way more interesting. No disrespect if you love it, though. I'm normally a grass-type boy myself, but, the fire guy's just too clean this time. And please, for the love of Christ, keep Sprigatito on all 4 of its paws. I do not want another repeat of Incineroar. Please, Game Freak. Anyway, Lechonk, dude, that guy is so good. I feel like after Wooloo got announced, Game Freak realized if they make some, funny round mammal Pokemon, the game will pretty much sell itself. Plus, that name Lechonk is, I know there's, some more to it than just, Lechonk. Come on, that's epic. I also really like Smoliv. It's really good. Such a cute little highly profitable export. I think the Pikachu clone will probably, evolve because it just looks way too unfinished to me. It doesn't really have a gimmick or a unique aspect to its design like the other electric rodents. I hope Tauros gets a regional form and maybe an evolution. Fun fact, Tauros is actually my favorite normal type Pokemon, so that'd be sick to see him get a little more representation. I think I'm for sure picking Scarlet because this professor is bad as hell. Dude, talk about a MILF. Look at her. Oh yeah, and I like the red guy more than the purple cock and balls Robo Dragon. At least that's what I think. What do you think? Please tell me in the comments below. Do you think these games are going to be the best of all time, or should they be deleted from the canon? Just, what do you think? Who are you picking? How's Lechonk? What's the version? Just tell me stuff, please!